Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. Today it's going to be hopefully a super short video. I'm going to light this up anyways. Alright, it's got a little bougie candle going. I'm just going to do that. I don't want to do the sage yet. I'll do it in the next video. Alright, so today's video is going to be about alright, this is going to be a little freaky. I kind of try to avoid freaky stuff, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just put it all out there, right? Alright, so do you guys remember the movie, the first movie, The Matrix? Do you remember the part where they first caught Neo? They were chasing him out of his office and everything, and they caught him and they pulled him into this interrogation room, and then eventually he couldn't, his mouth was like, in fact, I'll put a picture up where he couldn't talk. And then what happened was, because he wouldn't give them the information that they wanted, so they threw him down on the table, and like they held him down. And then that one guy, I forget what his name is, he pulls out this thing and opens it up, and then there's like this electronic device that turned out to be like a mechanical like bug. And then he dropped it on his belly, and eventually it went into his belly button and it went inside. Okay, now that's going to be the freaky part. Everything in movies or fairy tales or stuff like that, they have an actual basis or a symbolic basis in reality. Okay? I think for a lot of people that kind of freaks you out. So here's what I mean. How many of you got what I call, and other people, a lot of people who have YouTube channels talked about this, who got the Narcissist Sting? It's like you feel it in your solar plexus, right in your upper belly, your belly area. It feels like to me it felt like a giant wasp sting, and it went right in, and then it put like a toxin in there, and it literally stung. For me, it lasted for months. Okay, so how many of you guys had that experience? All right. Regardless of what's really going on, how it happened, well, I know how it happened. They do what I call the I did a video series on what I call the triangle of death. It's something they linked up inside you neurologically. It's an NLP technique that they use in a very, very fucked up way. And okay, that's a politically correct scientific way of explaining it. What they did was much worse. Okay, I don't even want to say it because it sounds so nuts. But for those of you who have dealt with narcissist abuse, okay, let me ask you this question. Of those of you who have dealt with narcissist abuse, God, I don't even know how to say this. Who dealt with it on, call it the demonic level, like it was literally a spiritual thing, like what in the fuck is happening? This is bizarre. This is creepy. This is weird. All right. So I think there's different levels of narcissist abuse. And why some people get the worst ones, I don't know. But, okay, I'm just going to spit it out. With me, I got that sting. And I talked to a lot of other people online, and I had never even heard of it before. And I was like, what the hell? And so I started, posting, like, what is this? And people's like, yeah, I got that too. So here's what it is. So they stung you, okay? How do I put this into words? Okay, I don't know how to put it into words. It's like they did something spiritual to you, or think of it as like on the fourth dimension or fifth dimension. They did something on that level that went inside you, okay? And it stings. Now here's what it is. How do I explain this? All right. A narcissist's number one goal is to get you stuck up in your head, right? So you think and think and think, just like them. You overthink everything. You worry and you worry. You're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They were trying to basically create another narcissist in you. All right. So a lot of you, what you'll notice, you had a lot of doubt for a long time. You thought you were evil. You thought you were a narcissist. No. So what happened is, okay, so a narcissist, what they do is they escape their emotional brain. Now the right brain is connected to the body, your emotions and your physical feelings, right? So what they do is they escape into their left brain. I started noticing this during my years and years, decades of teaching my course, my dating relationship course, Cracked Female Code to Men, because every now and then you get one guy out of 15 or 20 that just couldn't do it. They didn't get it. And I was like, what is this? One thing I notice is that men in general, we hide behind our logic from our emotions. Okay, now I was raised in an Italian family, very emotional, very comfortable with that, and I noticed some men just like they're not going there, and so I couldn't figure out what it was until years and years later. Oh, these are called narcissists. Oh, narcissists hide behind a wall of logic in their left brain, which means they're not connected to here. Here's why: they got that sting at a young age. Okay, so when they go down. Okay, this is why they don't have intuition. This is why they can't see the bigger picture. This is why they can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. Whenever they do what's called an internal check to see, well, what do I think about this, or how do I feel? They do this internal check and they get that sting, and it shoots them right back up in the brain because they don't want to feel that sting, and that's why they put that sting in you. So you would lose your intuition, you would lose your sense of self, you would lose your sense of confidence, you would lose everything. You would lose your empathic abilities, your light healing, your energy healing abilities, your compassion, all of that. That's why they did it, okay? Here's the really super awesome good news. A lot of you know that I'm an energy healer. I'm trained in Reiki, trained and certified in Reiki, Huna, and pranic healing, okay? And also technically you could say something called energy medicine, something I've done and gone to for about 20 years as a client, and I picked up stuff over time. I have a very powerful knack for this, okay? So here's what this last narcissistic abuse did for me. It hurt, it sucked for a long time. I thought I was never going to come out of it. And it basically forced me to find a way, like, how the hell do I fix this? How do I escape this? Because at the time I suddenly didn't believe in my abilities, and that's what they're doing. They don't want you to be able to tap into your power. And that's what this whole thing should do to you when you get over it. You suddenly realize, I have actual power. I have my intuition skyrocketed through the roof. The ability to tune into other people through the roof. And I was already good at it, like really good at it. Looking right through someone, reading someone, just really good. Everything amplified, including my energy healing abilities. I'm going to tell you something I was doing. I would do what I call cord cutting. And it worked. It felt great. And then it would come back. And I'm like, what is this? Like, why does it keep? Because it would tighten up and it would sting. And I'm like, fuck, god damn. Okay, it wouldn't come back right away. It might take a day or two. I noticed it actually took about 48 hours to 36 hours. And I realized what it was, okay, not just the first time, but every time I learned about cord cutting, I'm going to go to Hawaii. Okay, it was a training we did out there. Is when you disconnect from someone, they might call you within minutes or within hours because they'll feel something's not right because you cut the cord and disconnected from them. So you energetically literally just disconnected, all right? So what happens is they'll call you, they'll message you, and they'll tell you when you get back from trip, like, I couldn't stop thinking of it, something like I had this feeling like we weren't connected anymore. People use that phrase and don't quite realize what they're saying, right? The word connected. They're not like, oh, energy healing connected. They don't necessarily think that. So what happens is when you disconnect from someone, you can reconnect with them just by thinking about them. You connect on a higher level. So here's what I couldn't figure out. Like, well, because this went on for months. It kept, like, I'd be free of it, like, oh, wow, it worked, I feel great. And I'd go running the next day, and I'd, do YouTube videos, and everything was wonderful. And also the phone started ringing, like, everything started working. And then it would sting again. I was like, what in the fuck is this? So here's what eventually happened, and I forgot to tell you guys this. I got so, I don't know what the word is. It was sad, upset, like almost scared, like, what the, how am I gonna get rid of this? I prayed to God, asked God to take it out over and over. Oh, please God, and I gave up on the cord cutting because that wasn't working. Although I did do it for a long time. Because what happens is they can feel that you disconnected, and they'll think, and boom, they disconnected, okay? There is a way to stop that, and that's what I'm leading to right now. So here's what happens. Just like the Matrix, where when Neo was slammed on the bed and they implanted the implant inside him, they did something like that to you on a spiritual, energetic level. Okay, I know this sounds freaky. I'm having a hard time even just spitting this out. I'm just going to get right to it. I did an energy healing technique that pulled it out. It's done. I totally forgot. This is why I've been so happy, and things. I'm actually looking at myself. And things started working, turning around again, and boom, things were just falling into place. I couldn't figure out what it was until one day it just came to me. And this is what happens with me with energy healing. There's a lot of stuff that I was never taught. It just something. I think I actually prayed like, God, please help me do this. What do I need? All right, here's what I knew. I had a sense of doubt. Okay, this is weird. I was really good at healing other people, but for some reason I didn't think I could heal myself, and I don't know why I thought that. I don't know what that's about, but I had a problem with that for years. And the energy healer I would go to is like, Michael, you don't need me to help you. You're really good at this. You can do it. All right, I had those. I forget what they're called, but they're little dots, and they kind of, some of them were, 2 or 3 of them were big on this one up here, and I had 2 big ones here and the one on top. And for years I couldn't get rid of those things, and they itched and they bugged me, and I was like, oh my God. I said, please, can you? She said, no, Michael, you can do this yourself. And I was like, oh God. So the left eye, I finally one day, I was just in the right space, and I know when I'm there, it's just that I'm completely open. There's no thinking. And then I did this technique, and I just forgot about it. And as I did the technique, I imagined them crumbling off. And it happened about a week later, about 4 or 5 days later, they just literally crumbled off. It's like, oh my God, that was exactly what, like, the image that came to me after I did the technique. But for some reason, I couldn't do the right side for like 2 years. And I was like, I don't get this. And so eventually I did the right side, and I got rid of the top one up here, and then there's one right here, but I couldn't get rid of this one. And then it took about another 6 months or so. I gave it another attempt, and I couldn't get rid of it. And then I did it again, and then it crumbled in half. And I was like, oh my God, it's little, but it's still there. And then I finally got that about a month ago. So here's my point. It's almost as if this narcissist abuse thing, it was almost, okay, when I was praying to God, like, please, please take it away, take the sting, like, get rid of it, all right? I had a feeling, it was just like a thought or a sense that God's like, no, you can do it. All right. Have you guys watched that movie, or not movie, it's a TV series called Lucifer? It's kind of like a comedy, but there's a lot of therapeutic techniques in that movie. First thing, Lucifer, what is that? Well, he and his twin brother, and then their brother Michael the Archangel, right? Were at dinner with God, their father, and that one lady who's married to Michael. And he goes, God, why weren't you there for us? And why did you let us go through all this? And blah, blah, blah. And then he finally at the very end asks his dad, this is Lucifer, he goes, do you love us? And God didn't answer right away. He goes, well, if I have to tell you that, then I must not have done a good job. He goes, there you go again. Like a vague answer. That just answers everything. He goes, you won't tell us. And he goes, I did everything in my power to empower you. So I knew that I had to do this myself. And when I popped that thing out, it was like a white, not quite the size of an ostrich egg, but it was about this big, kind of oval almost. And it was kind of wet. It was white, and it was kind of like an egg almost, I want to say, but it had like a wrapping around it, like a thick, kind of like thick skin, but maybe it was. So I don't want to go too in depth with that. All I can know is this: when I took that out, oh my God, I can breathe deep again. Okay, so have you had struggles since you got stung with breathing deep? Okay. The overall message of this video is I can take it out of you now if you need help with that. Give me a call. I do charge for this. It'll be a one-time charge. I don't think I'll have to do it again. I may do an energy cord cutting at the same time, just to disconnect from them, okay? This is Mike Colleen at MikeColleen.com. If you've suffered from that, at the very least, let me know if you had that sting and how long did it last, and or do you still have it? See you guys in the next video. Bye.